Hello, welcome to Homework Help 6.7. Okay. So the first part of your homework tonight, I give you 2 different coordinate grids with points. 1, 2. And you have to do various things. So let's just start with number 1. There. Now we're really zoomed in. 1 second. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. There we go. Using the grid above, do the following. So translate point A using the rule x minus 2, y plus 1, and label as a prime. So please pause me and try this yourself. Look back on our notes from the end of class. Okay, here we go. Your first step is to figure out, well, where is A right now? Where is A? A is hanging out at 1, 2, 3. X is 3, Y is 4. So currently A is at 3, 4. Okay, I'm really tired of the screen. Hold on. Let's just do pink. Sweet. All right. Translate using this rule. So x minus 2. Okay. So x minus 2, y plus 1. So x is 3. So 3 minus 2. And then right now on the grid, where is A? What's the y value of A? X is 3, y is 4. So that's 4 plus 1. So then you just solve this. So 3 minus 2 is 1, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So that is your new point. Your new point is 1, 5. 1, 5. Okay. You can also look at the rule this way. X minus 2, that means I'm going to go 2 to the left in the negative x direction. So 2 to the left, 1, 2, and then y plus 1, so 1 up. So negative 2, 1, 2, plus 1. All right. So you can also think of it as that way, as doing it that way. All right, so that was number 1. Try number 2 by yourself. That's another translation problem. Number 3, rotate point C 90 degrees clockwise around the origin and label as C prime. This is where I would pull out your notes either from today. I meant to look when it was, so we did this. Hold on, I can just tell you. 1 second. We'll just find out together. It is, no, is it 6-3 or 6-4? Let's see. Oh, I think this is it. Okay, there you go. It was 6.4. And then I gave you examples. All right, but here's the chart that you should memorize. Okay, so for our problem today, where'd it go? There it is. We are rotating 90 degrees clockwise. So 90 degrees clockwise. 90 degrees clockwise around the origin. So that's this one, 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so we started x and y, we switched them, and then that becomes negative. So switch them, that becomes negative. So x, y goes to y negative x. Oop, my bad. Look at my desktop. Okay. So you start out at x comma y. Okay, and then we're gonna go to, oops, wrong one. Okay, that's the rule that's in my table. When I'm rotating 90 degrees clockwise around the origin, I go from the normal point, and then this is what I do. So I start out at, C is at -2, -4. So we start out at -2, -4. Switch your X and Y. So -4, -2. And then switch the sign. Switch the sign. Boom. So that would be your new point. Okay. -4, 2. Probably can't highlight it. Never lets me highlight my own stuff. Nope. Okay. So then I'll put that on the graph. -4, 2, -4, 2, -4, 2, -4, 2. Okay, there. And that is C. Sorry, I put C1. You can always double check. Make sure I wrote the rule down right. Y -X. Y -X, yes. All right. When you do 180 degrees around the origin, it's nice and easy. Look at the rules. I keep doing that. Here it is. When we're rotating 180 degrees around the origin, you just make them both the opposite. So if it's positive, it becomes negative. If it was negative, it would just become positive. Okay, so it's the opposite. You switch the signs. When you rotate 180 degrees, you just switch the signs. You just switch the signs. There we go. So I'll rewrite the rule here. Xy becomes -X, -Y. Okay. So D right now is at, I don't know, D, oh, it's over here. 6, -3. Okay, it's at 6, -3. 6, -3. Okay, so then you just switch the signs. So it becomes -6. Okay, positive becomes a negative. Positive becomes negative. You just switch the signs, and so your -3 becomes +3. Let me plot that. -6, 3, -6, 3. If you don't plot them, it's not the end of the world, as long as you have them written down. -6, 3. There. Oh, that got away from me a little bit. There it is. And that was D. I'm going to write it above it. D1. This guy. Okay. It's another translation problem. Try that one by yourself. Okay. So this is just more, wait, I think all of these are just more practice using that table. Okay. Here we go. The last few, and yes, it goes from 10 to 13 because I don't know, I didn't make it an 11 and a 12. So there you go. This we just need more practice on, I think. Or enough of us need more practice on it. Okay. So it says find the slope between each pair of points. Hold on. Let me move myself. There. Then using the Pythagorean theorem, find the distance between each pair of points. Distances should be provided in their most exact form, or sorry, in the most exact form. All right, so they don't want you changing them into decimals. Okay. I'll just start with number 13 because it's here. So you're giving your 2 points, and you need to find the slope. Slope is Here, since I have my internet up, actually, let's just go here. Slope formula. Okay, you can think of it as rise over run. You can think of it as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to fill in this formula, okay? But you've also probably heard, well, you have heard, change in y over change in x. So we're going to use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is just telling us the change in y and the change in x. This is the change in the y, this is the change in the x. Alrighty. So y2 minus y1 and all of that. So let me see if I can see if it'll let me do this. Yeah, over a little bit higher. Maybe it's close I can get to it. Oh no, there we go. Over x2 minus x1. There we go. Okay. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let me move my line down just a tad. Oop, just a tad. There. Okay. So it doesn't matter which, so you're going to have an x1 and a y1. It doesn't matter which one you do for which. What would be easier? I'm going to make this x2, so that means this is, sorry, I'll start a little bit over here. Make this x2, which means this is y2. Okay, so then over here, that means this is x1 and y1. It doesn't matter. You could have done x1, y1. Okay, just make sure you plug them in correctly. So y2 minus y1. What's y2? For me, it's -2. -2 minus y1, which is 0. Okay, all over okay. X2, which I have is -3, so -3, minus x1, which is 0. -2 minus 0 gives me -2. Ooh, I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Dang it, it's not going to let me. All right, -2 over -3 minus 0 is -3. Okay, which a negative over a negative, your negatives cancel each other out. So you're just left with 2/3. So your slope is 2/3. Oh, now I have my line. Ha. Yes. So your slope equals 2/3. Okay, so then to find the distance, you're using your Pythagorean theorem, which is just a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, you just figure out a and b. So it doesn't matter. 2 could be a or 3 could be a, it doesn't matter. I like to make the little one a, so I'm going to go 2 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, that's where I got my 2, that's where I got my 3, equals c squared. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 c squared. Keep going, what is 4 plus 9? 13 equals c squared. Okay, you're not done. You're almost done. Now you have to take the square root of both sides. So, there we go, square root and square root. Okay. And since it wants us to leave it in exact form, you just get C equals the square root of 13. So let me put in my 13, and then I'll draw my line. C is equal to the square root of 13. And you would just leave it like that. So your slope is 2/3, your distance is the square root of 13. All right, I'll do one more of these. So if you feel like you're good, then you can stop listening. I don't know if it matters. Let me do one that has lots of negatives, maybe. I'll do number 15. So number 15, we're going to find our slope. So change in y over change in x, or y2 minus y1. Or what I was doing. Over x2 minus x1. So then just pick. Doesn't matter. So this time I'll make this one be x1, so then this one is y1. You could do it. You can make these x2 and y2 if you want. It doesn't matter. This one x2, oops, sorry, x2, so y2. So y2 minus y1. So y2 is 1 minus y1. y1 is 13. I have 1 minus 13 over x2 minus x1. So x2, negative 5, minus negative 10, minus negative 10. Okay, two negatives become a positive. Equals 1 minus 13 is negative 12. Let me see if it'll let me draw in my line this time. Negative 12 over negative 5 plus 10. Negative 5 plus 10, which is 5. All right, so your slope is negative 12 over 5. That's your slope. Your distance, once again, they give you you now have A and B. It doesn't matter, you can use 5 for A or 5 for B. I'm going to use it as A, so I have 5 squared plus negative 12 squared equals C squared. Okay, 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25. Negative 12 squared, negative 12 times negative 12 is positive 144 equals C squared. Make sure you put this as a positive, okay? Negative times a negative is a positive. Then you have 25 plus 144 is 169 equals C squared. And then you would take the square root of both sides. The square root of 169 is 13. So C equals 13. Or distance, if you want to write distance. Distance equals 13. Okay. So C and the distance are the same. C is the same as the distance. They mean the same thing. Alrighty. Woo! Go ahead and try the rest on your own. Good luck.